Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Today is the 5th of February. We have a six-game slate to break down for NBA trade deadline day, and man, has it been absolutely crazy the last couple days. So if you guys are excited about the trade deadline and today's slate, leave us a like. We definitely do appreciate it, and also hit that subscribe button for more NBA FanDuel and DraftKings lineup advice videos. It was a pretty good night last night for premium for our subscribers. Scored a 404.2 was our I think it was our cash lineup. So it was pretty good overall for us. As you see there, one of our subs won $48 on it. We had Murray, Wallace, Edwards, Murphy, Wiggins, Coward, Leonard, Williams, and Williams. So really wasn't too bad of a night. Edwards popped off, Murray popped off. Thankfully, we had that second overtime game as well for him. So it was a pretty good one. We faded Isaiah Joe, and I think that was the big chalk that everybody ate. I mean, he did all right, but we went to Case and Wallace instead and had a little bit lower ownership. So it was a pretty good night last night, and like I said, tonight it's looking crazy with all the injuries and all the trades and everything like that. Excuse me. So if you guys don't have time to do any of that, like I said, let us do the work for you guys. Our premium will be in the comment section below. All you have to do is message us on our Twitter, and we'll get you guys all set up. Click that link right there. We'll take you right to our Twitter. Give us a follow. And like I said, we have our email as well if you guys do not have Twitter. Um, Message us and we will get you guys set up via email. And like I said, we can send lineups through email as well. But yeah, like I said, good night last night for us. We have a six-gamer here today. Thankfully, some of the late games are not included. So yeah, let's go dive into it. Washington Wizards taking on the Pistons. We have a 226, 14.5. And it's going to be a common theme here. A lot of these teams are absolutely depleted, so it feels like the last week or two of the season when we're just picking random. So Washington, for the most part, they're pretty healthy. Obviously, they traded some of their guys away, but the main people I'm going to look at here is going to be this Detroit side. So they do have a back-to-back tomorrow against the Knicks. So obviously, this game against Washington doesn't mean as much as the Knicks game. So would not be surprised if they rest a couple of their key guys here. Kate Cunningham and Tobias Harris are both questionable in this game, so I would not be surprised if both these guys do sit. Usually we go to Dennis Jenkins in this spot when Kate Cunningham is out, but there's no Jenkins today. He is getting close to his two-way, so he only has 9 games left. So they want to kind of control that, so they don't want to play him against this game. So, and remember, Jaden Ivey is gone. He's no longer here either. So Marcus Sasser is probably going to be starting or your backup point guard here tonight if Kate Cunningham cannot get it done. Sasser's not bad. Played 20 minutes, had 16, and then he played 14 minutes, had 25. So he's probably going to sit around the 21 to 24 fantasy point range if he starts. And that's obviously a good spot. Good spot. A lot of people are probably going to have him as well. But yeah, we'll have to see what the starting lineup is. If Kevin Herter is playing here, I don't mind him. I think he's in a good spot. If Kevin Herter's not able to give it a go, guys like Duncan Robinson are going to be even more in play. LeVert is in play, even though I don't like picking him. Thompson should get a lot more usage here. Should, quote unquote. Ron's in a good spot. If Tobias Harris is out, probably going to play about 25 minutes and get you about 24 to 26 fantasy points. And then the other thing, like I said, is really interesting. Are they going to play Jalen Duran? If he does, then these guys really don't come into play much, but we'll have to see how it goes. So Sasser's the main guy. Azor, you can look at him, and Duncan Robinson, and maybe Holland, depending on Harris, like I said, and Kate Cunningham. And then, like I said, Washington side, I really don't have much. They're healthy for them, so I don't really have much. Cruz Boucher to be traded to the Jazz. You're probably going to see a lot of alerts on the side here if you guys can see those. So since it is trade deadline, Brooklyn and Orlando. This one, ugh. Orlando's not playing as great. 214, 9.5 spread. I wouldn't be surprised if Brooklyn keeps up with them in this game. I think this is a back to back. No, it's not a back to back, but gotta let me see. Black's at 7,000 and a really low total. Um, might be one of those games where I just skim over. I don't really have a ton from it. Um, I was really looking for something for you guys. Tristan da Silva, he's playing the minutes, but he's not really doing anything else. So I think this is probably going to be a full fade. with the other games out there. Wendell Carter's really not playing any minutes. Goga's not. Wagner's not. They're just all playing a couple minutes each. So, um, gonna pass on that one. This one's a lot better. Utah and Atlanta. This game also has a lot of question marks, but it's a 244.5, 9.5 spread here by the Atlanta Hawks. So it's going to be an uptick here, up pace for the Atlanta Hawks. As we know, Utah is one of the fastest in the league here. Let's go look at the Atlanta side of things. So they did trade Kitstaps Porzingis. Akonwu is questionable still with a mouth injury. He's missed the last 3 games. So we'll have to see if he plays. If he doesn't play, I would expect Mohamed Gay to start here. I apologize about that if you guys heard that. That's my alarm. I do expect Mohamed Gay to start. If he doesn't start, I still, project him to be, relatively in this rotation, right? If Akonwu is not available. So his price is getting up there, though. That's the only thing that slightly stinks. So there is other value out there for sure. Jalen Johnson, I know he's getting up there in price, but this is a dream matchup for him against a team that doesn't play any defense, a team that is going to give up rebounds, and another, and a team that's slightly, like I said, they play fast. The Utah Jazz doing what you do when you play fast. Sometimes you play sloppy. Get a couple steals and blocks in there. I can see this being a half decent game for Jalen. I know he's 11K, but he is definitely worth the spend up here. If you're trying to get some cheap exposure to this one, you got Corey Kispert and Zachary Richeche. They're both playing about 20, 22 minutes, so they're slightly limited on their upside, especially Zachary Richeche. But, I just wanted to mention him. He can get you 22, 23. And then we got Corey Kispert. Mentioned him the other day, had 23.8. So, if anyone, Corey Kispert's playing the bigger minutes. And like I said, against Miami, it was an uptick spot for him. So, not bad of a spot. So, you can look at Corey Kispert at 4,000. Daniels, Alexander Walker, McCollum, they're all in good spots. They're all kind of priced where they should be, too. So, Jalen Johnson's the main one I'm looking at. And maybe Corey Kispert. If Akonwu plays and he's ready to go with no limit restriction, because usually with a mouth injury, you don't have limit restriction. The only thing I'm worried about is his conditioning. But if anything, these couple days have helped him out. So we'll see. If Akonwu's available, no limit restriction, I don't mind firing him up at 7,200. And then Utah side, Nurk is once again worth a look. You got to remember, Utah is still probably without a lot of these guys that they traded for. So, Keontae's still out, so like I said, Collier, he's way up there now. These guys are kind of priced where they should be. So I don't have a ton of Utah guys, if anyone, marketed 8,400, still in a pretty good spot. And you can look at Kyle Flipowski as well if he continues to play here. But we'll just have to see because they could start Nurk, and the Flipowski may not really be in play. So if Nurk starts 73, I still don't mind looking at Jurasov Nurkic. All right, Chicago and Toronto in this one. We have a 224 and an 8.5, so this is a back-to-back for Toronto. We'll have to see if they do rest any of their guys in this one. If they don't, Colin Murray-Boyles is still in a good spot. Like I said, this guy just kind of gets it done everywhere. Slightly limited on his minutes if this game becomes a blowout, but maybe him or Sandro. All right, they're both half-decent plays, but they're slightly limited, right? They don't have a ton of upside, more just plays that are going to get you 24, 25. On a slate like this, you're going to probably want plays that are really going to boom for you. So, and this is probably where you're going to get it, right? Chicago. Look at this. This is gross. This is just absolutely disgusting. We got Giddey out. We got Hayu Samnu traded. We got Trey Jones out. Simons is probably not going to play. Sexton is still in the process of the trade. Jaden Ivey is still slightly in the process of a trade. They were finalizing it this morning, so we'll have to see. Let's just say none of these dudes are available, Ivy, Sexton, and Simons. I don't know how to say this dude's name, but Yuka Kamamura, I think that's how you say it. This guy comes into play. I don't know who this is, but last couple games, man, 21 and 27. You got to give this guy a look. Yukai, if all those dudes are out, like you have to. If all those guys are out, he's going to get minutes again. But we'll have to see. If Jaden Ivey is available, then yeah, he's in a good spot at 4,200. We'll just have to see. Bazulius, all right. Patrick Williams is probably going to have to start at the center position again. He's been playing really good minutes at $4,200. So, yeah, you're going to have to put him in there. I usually don't play a Coro, but another guy that's going to play at least, 40 minutes. Right? Julian Phillips isn't there anymore. They just traded him, I think, this morning. So, You got Jalen Smith in a pretty good spot. So yeah, a lot of really good value here on the Chicago side. Even if it's a blowout, they're going to have to play. Moving on here a little quicker, we got Charlotte and Houston, a 216, I think, in this one, 3.5 spread. So a pretty close game. Charlotte has been playing a lot better as well. So I think this, ball is worth a look in GPPs. I know it's not the greatest matchup, but no one's going to have this due to 8,000. And if you get 44, 45, that's pretty good value right there. So don't mind looking at him. Like I said, these Charlotte guys, if you're playing GPPs, are in half decent spots here. Con Knuckles, all right. Buy low on Miles Bridges. I know some of these guys haven't been the greatest to their potential, but they can definitely pop off in GPPs only. And on the flip side, you can look at Kevin Durant if you want to, and Sengun, but I don't have a ton. All right, last game of the night here is San Antonio and Dallas. Thankfully, I don't know why Fanduel adds a late game sometimes. They sometimes add them like last night, and then tonight they don't do it. It's kind of weird. 229, 6.5 here by the San Antonio Spurs. This is a back-to-back here for San Antonio, so we'll see if Victor plays here on the back-to-back. He did play in the back-to-back last time out, so we'll see if they play him here again. This is a relatively meaningful game, I guess, for them in their division. So I don't know if I need to pay for Victor tonight. I really don't have any of these San Antonio guys here, especially with it being about a back-to-back. On the Dallas side of things, Cooper Flag is worth a look if you're playing GPPs. The only reason I say this is because the dude is absolutely on a roll. I mean, my goodness gracious. 66, 56, and 60. And he's facing pretty dang good teams. Charlotte defense is a lot better. Houston, one of the best defenses. Boston, pretty dang good defense. And he's absolutely annihilating these people. So you got to put in Flag, I think, in some GPPs. Yeah, it's not the greatest matchup on paper. But once again, as I just showed you, it doesn't matter right now. So you got to put in Flag. He's absolutely hot. Another guy to look at, like I said, PJ Washington's going to continue to be out, and I told you guys about him last time, Caleb Martin. I mean, if he's going to continue being a half-decent play at 4,400, I'm going to continue playing the guy. He's not too bad of a spot, gets you about 22 to 24 fancy points here in this one. And like I said, if Gafford is out, Gafford and Bagley, Powell comes into play, might get you 18, but I don't know if you need to go that way. So that's kind of what we're looking at in this one. Like I said, it was another good night for premium. Scored a 404 last night. Cash line was pretty high, but like I said, we definitely were way above the cash line. So why not give us a shot today? It's only $6 for a day pass. That's it, guys. One cash lineup and one GPP lineup for you guys. If you guys are working, there's going to be so much trade deadline news today that you guys are going to, when you get home, you're going to be like, what do I do? There's so much stuff. So let us do the work for you today. Like I said, there's a lot of news. It's going to be a lot when you guys get home from work, so let us do the news for you. And like I said, it's only $6. Why not try us out for a day pass? And like I said, scored a 404 last night. Pretty dang good. And like I said, our subs profited some money. So yeah, Twitter will be in the comment section below. Click that link. We'll take you right to our Twitter. Give us a follow while you're there. And message us on our email if you guys can't do Twitter. And like I said, you guys can receive lineups that way as well. So once again, thank you for watching. I appreciate the support. And if you found this video helpful, like I said, likes are always appreciated, and they really do go a long ways. And it does show your support for the channel. All right, thank you once again, and happy trade deadline day. And hopefully your team makes some good trades, and yeah, some crazy trades out there. And we'll see you guys here in the next one.